Just finished the second threshold. The last minute was hard. I wanted to give up on that one. Have you ever set a really big running goal and then halfway through the training block, you start to wonder, am I really going to be ready? That doubt starts creeping in. That's exactly what happened to me this week. I'm chasing a sub 130 half marathon, and 2 workouts this week that were supposed to give me confidence did the exact opposite. They gave me a little bit of doubt. But before we get there, let me show you what led up to that. Just pulled up to the track. It's my birthday. We're gonna get some speed work. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. With this workout being on my birthday, I thought maybe I'd get a little extra pop, a little extra energy, and this threshold session might be a little bit easier. This workout was a 1.5 mile warm up, and then 2 intervals, 12 minutes at threshold, and then a 1.5 mile cool down. 1.5 mile warm up done with some strides. Time for 12 minutes of threshold. First 12-minute threshold loop finished. Whew. On to the next. Just finished the second threshold. The last minute was hard. I wanted to give up on that one. And after that second threshold, during the cool down laps, that's when that doubt really started to creep in for the first time that week. That last minute of that 12-minute threshold was really a lot tougher than I thought it should be. So the next few runs were just normal easy runs. Everything went well, still keeping heart rate at around 135. Back and hip are continually getting better. And then that leads us to the second workout that really made me doubt myself, and that was the long run. All right, today's a 15-mile run, probably one of the bigger runs of this block. We got 10 miles progressing from warm up to a steady pace, and then we're gonna come back, take off the shoes, and put on, I get to actually try out my Meta Speeds for the first time, so a little excited. And then we're gonna have 5 miles at going from half marathon pace to marathon pace, back and forth. So we'll see how this one goes. So right now, 1 mile at half marathon pace, if I'm fresh, it feels really doable. But on mile 13 of this run, that 1 mile at half marathon pace, it seemed a lot harder than it should be. And that was the second time that doubt started creeping in. And then the 15th mile, it felt pretty good. And maybe that's just because I knew the workout was going to be over after that. But that 13th mile is what really made me feel like, holy moly. How can I do this for 13 miles straight if this 1 mile at mile 13 feels like this? I think this is something that just naturally happens when you're chasing a big aggressive goal. I knew when I set this goal, it was aggressive. It was going to be tough. Things would have to go right. But I also take a step back and know this is the process that I love to do. I love to test myself week after week. And you have to enjoy that process, because if you set your happiness on, or your self-worth on reaching this goal, well, usually what happens when you reach that goal, you just postpone it by saying, oh, well, now it's this next goal. And I do always want to chase down other goals, but you gotta love that process. You gotta love that test of will for yourself, because if you don't, that delayed happiness, it just keeps getting delayed and keeps getting delayed, and that's a rough way to live. And because right now, no matter if I go out and run a 128 half marathon or 136 half marathon, the next week looks the same. I'm still going to show up and I'm still running and I'm still trying to progress and get better. And for me, I'm switching to building for my first ultra, 50 miles in Leadville. So I don't want to downgrade this goal and say it's not important, because it is important. But in the grand scheme of things, when you detach yourself and look at it from a 30,000 foot view, I'm just setting myself up for success. trying to put myself in the right trajectory. And if the goal happens, that's phenomenal. If it doesn't, got more work to do. And that's just how I try to look at it, and it keeps my sanity. Because if everything was tied up in hitting this 130 goal, if I didn't hit it, it would be devastating. And I don't want to downplay. Like I said, I don't want to downplay the goal. This is important to me, and I will be a little bummed if I don't hit it. But I know that in the grand scheme of things, to go sub 3 in the marathon, I got to do sub 130 twice. And this is a slow, patient game, and that's part of chasing something big. You test yourself every week, and you see what happens. It's trial and error. And in this journey of life and marathon training, half marathon training, it's a roller coaster. Ups and downs. It's inevitable that fear and doubt are going to show up. It's just how do you push forward when those do show up? And if you made it this far, thank you. Hey, honestly, if y'all have been through this situation, how do you deal with that? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from y'all. And that's it for week 8. Still got a few more weeks to sharpen and to get a little bit more confidence. Doing some crucial speed works this next week, and we'll see you on week 9.